This is FIBA Podcast. Thank you for joining us in our morning daily devotion.
The unseen hands. Have you ever been in a moment that took your breath away? A moment of awe, wonder, and sheer amazement at what only God could do. The kind of moment where all you can whisper is, how is this possible? It is often in life's impossibilities, when doors are shut and there seems to be no way forward, that God shows up and the impossible becomes undeniable. Today's devotion comes from John chapter 2, verses 1 to 11, with our key verse: the servants who had drawn the water knew, verse 9. We step into a home in Cana where a wedding celebration is underway. Music fills the air, laughter echoes. The bride and groom glow with joy. Jesus, his mother, and his disciples are among the guests. Everything appears perfect until the unthinkable happens. The wine runs out. In Jewish culture, weddings lasted several days and wine was meant to flow freely. Running out of wine was a serious social embarrassment. The family's honor was at stake. Securing more wine on short notice was nearly impossible. Mary, the mother of Jesus, becomes aware of the crisis and tells Jesus, "They have no more wine." Though Jesus replies, "My hour has not yet come," she turns to the servants and says, "Do whatever he tells you." And suddenly, ordinary servants are placed at the center of an impossible situation. Nearby stood 6 stone water jars used for ceremonial washing, each holding 20 to 30 gallons. Jesus instructed, "Fill the jars with water," and they filled them to the brim, verses 6 to 7. We are not told whether the servants fully understood the crisis. The command must have seemed puzzling. Water was not the problem, wine was. Yet there was no hesitation, just quiet obedience. They filled every jar completely. Then came the harder instruction. Now draw some out and take it to the master of the banquet. The servants knew exactly what they had poured into those jars. It was water. Perhaps there was a silent glance between them, an unspoken question: are we really doing this? Still, they obeyed. Obedience came before understanding. Verses 9 to 10 tell us that the master of the ceremonies tasted the water that had been turned into wine. He did not know where it came from. The bridegroom received praise for saving the best wine until last. The guests celebrated. But the servants who had drawn the water knew, verse 9. They had filled the jars. They had drawn the water. They had carried the miracle in their hands. When Jesus first said, "Fill the jars," it made sense. But when he said, "Now draw some out," it required trust. And somewhere between the filling and the pouring, the miracle happened. Jesus could have performed this sign without them. He could have spoken from across the room. Instead, he chose servants, servants to fill, servants to draw, servants to deliver. The miracle flowed through their obedience and the glory of God was revealed. They were never named, they were never applauded. Yet they witnessed the first recorded sign of Jesus' ministry. Only they could say, "We carried the miracle." Miracles often pass through unnoticed hands. You do not have to be visible to be vital. Obedience positions you to witness God's glory. And sometimes, between your obedience and your next step, water becomes wine. You may not control the miracle, but you can choose obedience and you will know, even if no one else does, that you were part of something eternal. While the master tasted the wine, the servants tasted the wonder. Take a moment and ask yourself, where are you quietly filling the jars? Where are you carrying the water without applause? Could it be that in those unseen moments, God is already turning your ordinary acts into extraordinary miracles? Lord, give us willing hands to obey even when we do not understand. Turn our quiet faithfulness into vessels of your glory. Amen.
Dear listener, we are here to stand with you in your time of need. We want to pray with you and for your prayer request. Do you need someone to talk to? We are here for you. Call us or send a message at +91 636 425 2164 +91 636 425 2164. God bless you.